Tucker, I want you to come to the White House. Believe me.
Me? I mean, sure. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm just bluffing with Iran, you know? It's the art of the deal, baby.
Okay, yeah, President Trump is just bluffing. You guys are totally safe.
Tucker, I want you to come to the White House.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Fire Program. I am your host, Joe Newman, a.k.a. Good Logic. I hope you all had a phenomenal weekend, a weekend that was so exceptional they write songs about it. Yes, one of those kinds of amazing weekends. I like to look at the bright side of life. If you missed it, I had a video that dropped which did not do particularly well. It did not. I did release my Diddy video this weekend. It did not do well. This made me sad. And after hours of therapy, I felt, a little better. Yes. A few hours of therapy. Nah, so sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. And for one reason or another, a reason that I'm sure one day I'll be able to demystify, this one just, let's be real, it didn't. So I guess I'm getting that it was fluff. Really? It was fluff? So I should have just not gone through all the work of actually providing visuals. Maybe. I don't know. If I just gave you like the actual content of them talking, maybe it would have been better. I don't know. I was like, trust me, it's much easier for me to do that. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try, you know what? You don't want video? Yeah, I'll just give you the audio. I can do that. But it is what it is. You don't argue with the masses. If you're trying to produce something for mass appeal, you don't argue with the masses. It's just like that's a losing battle. So you take it on the chin and you're like, all right, dust it off, go for the next one. So that's probably, I will consider doing just the audio. We'll see how that plays. But oh no, that's much easier. Much easier. Oh my God. Much easier. Okay. Anyhow, the big story that I really want to talk to you about is this allegation with respect to Tucker Carlson. So what do we have going on in this show? I've got Tucker Carlson and him claiming that that his own government was spying on him. So that's something. That's an interesting claim.
Today I found.
Whoa, that's him talking about it. We have claims that Dave Smith is being boosted by Middle East people. So we're seeing basically these individuals who are both part of the woke right. So, and their purported ties to Middle Eastern countries. So I definitely want to talk somewhat about that and discussions and breakdowns about that. And while we're in the Middle East, there was this breakdown also that Trump learned that the new Ayatollah, the son of the former Ayatollah, is gay. Or at least that's what reports are. And there are reports about his reaction to it. So I definitely want to break that down. What else do I have going on? Oh, yeah, tariff deal. And there was more. There's more. There's just a whole bunch of smaller stories that I plan on breaking down for you over the course of this show. Plus, we have a goal tonight. Our goal is that I expect to be looking into the Kouri Richins. You might have heard of the name of this trial. I will break down the Kouri Richins case, at least from what I'm able to learn about it. Frankly, I don't know very much about the Kouri Richins case, so take that with a grain of salt. But I definitely plan to read up and learn about and teach you about what I see about the Kouri Richins case, if in fact we get to hour 3, and that's if we hit our nightly goal of having 15 super chats at $10 or more. Could be super chats, could be Rumble Rants, could be anything. It really could be. It could be goods and services. If you find a way to get that to me, goods and services. Yeah. Crypto dollars. Oh, that'll work. I think crypto will work. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's start off by talking about Tucker Carlson, and specifically his claim that his own government is spying on him, that he's been a victim of our governments.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts.
There's a lot of people in Iran. So let's start with this. A lot of people in Iran. The people in Iran he was talking to, A, probably not alive anymore, and B, just saying, they probably testified. That's just my speculation. I don't know that. I don't know who he was talking to. I'm just telling you, I don't think they're alive anymore. I think they're likely dead. In fact, you might say that possibly part of the reason they're dead is because of Tucker Carlson. Maybe, unwittingly, he might have helped Trump. But he makes it like, people that I was talking to in Iran. Oh, yeah, this feels very close. Why do I feel like you're like in my schnoz practically? Let's do this back. God. Can you give a guy some space? It's not your fault. Let me turn this also a little bit. Turn this. No. 0. Something changed here. That's better. Yeah, so the people he's talking to are not the people you and I are talking to, but he makes it as if like, I was just talking to some people in Iran. It's like he's talking to like some TV producers in Iran or something like that. That's who he's talking to. I guess perhaps because TV producers in Iran were almost certainly state actors.
So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that.
As if he never heard of FARA. As if this guy has never heard of FARA. It's the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And like, this is where he shows you he's an actor. Okay. And this is the most disingenuous thing. The Foreign Agent Act or something. What is this? I don't know. I have no idea what this is. This is a crime. What are they talking about? I don't even know what that is. How many times did you cover FARA with respect to, I don't know, Hunter Biden? I mean, you're sitting here pretending you don't know what FARA is. The Foreign Agent Act. No one calls it the Foreign Agent Act. They call it FARA. And he knows that. But he's like trying to make like as if he's some yokel or something. He's like, the Foreign Agent Act? Like, what the hell is that? What is that?
Acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere.
And it won't. It will not go anywhere. Not if it's FARA. And if it's FARA, I don't want them to even like mention. I don't want anything to happen. We're all, by the way, just believing him. And it's hard to trust him on anything these days. But we're all believing him that it is actually true. Not something he's just manufacturing for victimization, to try and become enter into the victim Olympics. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and assume it's true for the purposes of covering this story. That's okay. Maybe it's true. Could be true. And if it's true, depending on what it is that led to this, it may be rightful. It might be rightful surveillance of him. It might be wrongful. There's no way for us to know that. There's no way for him to even know that. Probably no way. Anyhow, so here it is. I guess there are ways. I guess if you've never done anything at all, you'd be like, why the hell is the government spying on me? Like you and me would probably be like, why the hell is the government spying on me? Yeah, okay. He's already talking, let's face it. He pretty much admitted, without saying these words, that he was talking to some high-level officials in Iran. And I don't think as a reporter, him talking to high-level officials in Iran necessarily, that standing alone, I don't think that's a basis to have him be spied on. So it is curious. It is, and it's something that should be concerning as to like, why the hell is he being spied on? And you would want to see what the probable cause is There's almost certainly a FISA warrant.
Worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons.
One is that Pam Bondi don't prosecute nobody. Who the hell would ever be worried about Pam Bondi coming after them legally? Seriously, who? Who? Which big name person? Yeah, if you're a low level loser who's got some twisted, demented sidekick where you're basically harming children, yeah, Pam Bondi's all over you. But if you're a big name individual, no, not so much. So that's one reason you shouldn't be worried, because Pam Bondi is sitting there as our attorney general.
One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power.
Oh, maybe that's, I mean, you're okay. Maybe. I don't know. That's what you're saying, but you're also pretending you don't know what FARA is. So I don't know if I can trust you.
Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States. And
this is just his way of shooting a dig, presumably at I assume this is a dig at Ben Shapiro. That's what I assume it's at, because he's just a douche.
Have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids.
What a stupid explanation. Because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. That's why? That's why? That's your explanation why you care about America? Well, like, this is like your heritage. What about this is your homeland? Not like you from here. A lot of people are from here. That's the difference between you're sitting here complaining about people talking about their duality. People have dual loyalties. Every person you just described, if assuming you're talking about Ben Shapiro's, let's say he's from here and has a lot of kids also. You know, it's the stupidest thing in the world. The hell is that?
So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover,
they do say he's independently wealthy. Like, he comes from money, that he has a lot of money, which does throw some shade on the claims. It's a pretty good level. I mean, it's not dispositive, because people with money always want more money. But it makes you think that if Qatar, which everyone always throws that name out, or anyone else was trying to bribe him, they'd probably have to be ponying up a lot, right? I mean, the more money you have, he's not doing this for like $1 million. There'd be a lot more than that, right? This is a guy who was making tens of millions a year in his old gig. So it would have to be a lot of money. And I think people who just, call him Qatari Carlson, they might think to themselves, oh, look, I mean, Qatar obviously has like a lot of money sitting in the Persian Gulf, but yeah, I don't know. It's not proof that he's innocent, but it makes it less likely. I think it's fair to say it makes it less likely that he's being bribed.
It's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's
him now admitting that he wasn't just talking to some teacher from Iran. He was talking to folks who have influence, or when they were alive had influence in Iran.
It's literally what I do for a living. And I'm not going to stop doing that.
No one's
Nor should I. I don't think.
I don't think. Like, he's become like this whole like Opie type of like, gee pa. I don't think. Like, what are you talking? No one's thinking you should. No one's saying you should stop talking to people. No one's saying you stop doing your job. But this is the framing. This is the framing that's designed to make him seem like so sympathetic. Like he's just a man going out there trying to do his job. And like, isn't that okay? Isn't that gee golly, folks? Isn't it okay if I just try and go out because this is what I do for a living? I mean, I think I should be allowed to do that, don't you? I think I should. I think. Like, no one was implying otherwise, but the reason you frame it like that is basically make it sound as if they're attacking his core essence. It's so slimy.
I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody.
We're very proud of you. We're very, very proud of you.
I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent. in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing.
Resilience says Tucker stuff is super easy to explain. They spied on Iran leadership text, so they got the messages from their end, not his end. He talks about how AIPAC should be under FARA all the time. Yeah, but he doesn't pretend. Now he's pretending when it's applying to him, he doesn't even know what the hell FARA is. It's so stupid.
Is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand. And it's outrageous. There's no justification for.
How does he know that his texts were spied on? See, this is all. I wish he would start at least with an allegation. It's like, I learned this. That's an anonymous source. I mean, tell us how you know this. How do we know that anything you're saying now is actually true?
Your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel.
Why do we assume this is CIA? Well, I mean, he's speculating it's because of his views on Israel, which it could be. And I would admit that's the most likely thing, if in fact what he's saying was true. But the entire framing here is as if people are mad at him, and that's why. Let's let him finish.
And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So
who does? Who does? Is this trying to say that? Is he trying to say that the Jews are coming after him? I don't even know what he's trying to say. What the hell are you saying? What are you saying? I never watched this yet. I watched the first minute of this, and I haven't watched this yet. I don't know what the hell he's even trying to say here. He's saying people talked about him to police, and that justified. That's not, first of all, that wouldn't be how the CIA, you're assuming it's the CIA. We don't know your source. We don't know anything about what the hell you're saying. I don't know what he's saying. How do you know it's the CIA? Why would it be the CIA? You would think that if it was a federal agency, it'd be the FBI. Unless the CIA said we need to access this American, I don't like the way they did under Biden, that we need to get, toll records for this particular individual, and they described him cryptically the way they did under Biden, which I don't like that. If that's what they did. But I guess it depends on the nature of what they put in there. I certainly think that you should be telling the judge who it is you're looking to spy on, so they get a better picture of everything. But I don't know what he's now. But then he's saying someone came and reported to the police. So what's reporting to the police have to do with the CIA? You think the CIA took someone called the CIA? What are you saying? Why would you be saying call the police? You would be saying call the CIA. If anyone understands what the hell he's even trying to say, I'd appreciate if you could just walk me through it, because I want to go back. I'm very confused.
Pass on criminal complaints, in effect.
Well, let's hear about
for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel.
So there are people in the CIA who are supposedly who are allegedly mad at him for his views on Israel.
And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is.
So why are they passing? Okay.
Is to justify warrants for spying.
So they would be passing on to the CIA. They wouldn't be passing on. They wouldn't be passing it on to police. This is probably true. This is almost certainly true.
On Americans. So that.
Oh, is this what it is? Laura Loomer allegedly ratted him out. So he thinks that's could be. Police in this case are DOJ, maybe.
That is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true. And
okay. So this is not a call to arms? Okay.
you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have, granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws, to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
So this led to the woke right screaming in frenzy about this, about, you know, the horror that they're coming after Tucker. They're coming after Tucker. Oh my God, it's a call to arms. Everyone's got to just, like, you know, go nuts now, because this is Candace Owens saying, if they come for Tucker, we ride at dawn. Really nothing else to say here. We're not doing the gulags 2.0 with these Bolshevik descendants. What the hell are you talking about? What does this even mean? We ride at dawn. Dave Smith putting out a tweet saying, protect Tucker at all costs. He's not in any jeopardy, nor should he be. Nor should he be. He shouldn't be in any jeopardy. But Laura Loomer here weighs in. She did come after Tucker. Here she is saying, today, this was on March 14th. This was 2 days ago. IRGC media accounts on X are quoting Tucker Carlson to push the Iranian regime's talking points during the war between the U.S. and Iran. Far News Agency is affiliated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Today, they posted a photo of Tucker Carlson in a statement in which he said control of the war with Iran has slipped out of America's hands, and how Tucker believes the U.S. under President Trump is losing its ability to influence the course of the ongoing war against Iran. This comes as Tucker released a bizarre video today about how he's expecting to be charged for violating FARA after he was allegedly told the CIA is preparing a criminal referral against Tucker over his text messages with Iranian officials during the war. I think, as he said, before the war. But Islamic terrorists in Iran are literally using Tucker's anti-American, pro-Islamic slop to spew Iranian wartime propaganda. She says this is treason and Tucker needs to go to prison. Okay, I don't know what the hell this means, because this is insane. That's insane. That's ridiculous. Okay. So I want to go on record here as I'm reading this now. That's a ridiculous take. But if any of you think that this is considered treason, it's treason if you're purposefully creating propaganda on behalf of the enemy. That would be treason. But coming out and speaking out against the war is in no way, shape, or form remotely treason. That is classic freedom of speech. So, yeah, that I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about with that. But yeah, it's the Jews. It's the Jews. Sorry, Joe. My gibberish translate is limited to those under 5. I promise doesn't work on those acting their shoe size. I try. I was looking to you for help, man. What happened? I needed your help. We all know it's true. Anyone like Candace and now Tucker that goes after Israel pay the price one so high it can't be paid. I can't even afford to pay it. They're getting so wealthy bashing Israel because it's like, it's a financial death sentence. It's curtains for you. Literally getting wealthy beyond belief by bashing Israel. And it's like, oh my gosh, they're trying to silence me. They're trying to silence me by drowning me in gold. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I do think that there is a lot to be gained by going after Israel. A lot to be gained by going after Israel. This is what I want to point out to you here. And this leads into our next story, which is about Dave Smith reportedly being boosted with sock puppet bot accounts coming out of the Middle East. Right Angle News Network brought down breaking new analysis of comic Dave Smith's viral post in which he justifies Islamist attacks in America shows that roughly 90 to 95% of the accounts reposting it are foreign or radical Islamic accounts. See, I don't know how they generate this. I don't know what this is. So I want to be fair about this. Okay. This is what he put out. Islam is such a violent religion. Every time we murder a bunch of their children, they try to kill some of us. Disgusting. Which is such a ridiculously stupid. Oh, this is such an American privileged perspective. No, they're not beheading people. No, they don't. The 9/11 never happened. Jackass. So this is designed to show how it's being promoted by foreign accounts. It does seem like it's a bunch of folks there, which there's only a few Americans in there. So, I mean, as you go through this thing here, you have Darth Powell, Vlad the Inflator, rebel leader, is American. But he is Brew media generalist, Ryan Silk. Okay. The problem with this is that we're doing it this way. The problem with this is that this is relatively, this is a couple of dozen. It's got to be a more efficient way to do this, right? It's got to be a more efficient way to actually look at his engagement to see how much he's being propped up by Middle Eastern individuals who are just excited to have an American speaking up on their behalf, and they want to try and promote him. And that doesn't mean he's getting paid by them. It could be that he's just enjoying being, the financial success that comes with being propped up by foreign actors. But it does make you start to question as far as, so is this America First perspective? Is he really as popular with them? Is he really reflecting American opinion here with what he's saying? Or is it really just foreign affairs opinion? And just to address his post for a moment before I'll come back to that question, people responding to his post here, Islam is such a violent religion. Every time we murder a bunch of their children, they try to kill some of us. Disgusting. Take America and Israel out of history entirely. Nothing changes. Muslims still be blowing each other up in sectarian disagreements. Sure, it was peace and harmony in the Middle East pre-1948 and pre-1776, right, Dave? And his whole claim that he's implying that it's some sort of peaceful religion. Give me some history of Islamic invasion of Europe, short answer only. Well, anyhow. So that was his take on that. It was kind of childishly foolish. But it does lead you to question, how much people, as far as looking into the idea of people, whether they're actually representing an American perspective or not. So for that perspective, I will share with you that if I come to X and I try to find out, what percentage of my viewers are actually American. So I go to X. How do I find this? I had to I go to premium, and then I go to analytics, and I check my audience, and scroll down to see country. I'm up to, wow, I was at 89.8 earlier today, and now I'm 89.4. All these foreigners are interacting with me now. 89.4 though. That's what you would expect, right? Now maybe he's a much bigger account than I am, so maybe his numbers will be lower. Maybe. I'm not sure why that. I can't really dissect why that would give a lower number. But let's assume it would be lower. Let's assume it would be something, somewhat a little bit lower, right? Let's assume it would be. What do you think would be a normal percentage that you would say, hey, a guy who is coming out here as an American libertarian, giving American first perspectives to an audience of millions, what kind of numbers do you think? What kind of percentage numbers do you think would be a normal percentage, if organic, would be a normal percentage should be from the United States? You see my numbers. My numbers are 89.4. I got 0.5% Germany, 0.4. I mean, you see here, second on the list is Canada. Hello, all you Canucks. Then I got, 1.6% UK. But basically, the overwhelming majority of you watching me are, who the heck? Yeah, Nepal. Hey. The overwhelming majority of you are American, which is what you would think. I'm talking about American politics. I'm talking about American policies. You would expect that the majority of people who are going to be interacting with me are American. What do you think a normal number would be? That's my question. That's my question for you. Jacob Stetner, he didn't take money. His company took money. Who didn't take money? Oh, Dave Smith? Or you were saying Tucker? It really could be. It's probably both. it's probably both of them. The NSA, not CIA, would monitor comms, and only with a warrant for U.S. persons. Tucker al-Abbas bin Mohammed is lying, in my opinion. He's taken Meghan with him. He has. It's a tragic thing to see. You talk about taking Meghan with him. I've been watching her, and she is not doing well with criticism. She's really not. She says she doesn't want to criticize her friends, Tucker or Candace. It's like she should have just moved on from it. But she's getting into arguments with Ben Shapiro and having these meltdowns. It's not a good look for her. It's really not. It's like you can stay out of the whole. You can really stay out of the whole thing if you want to. But I don't know. I mean, the IRGC was playing Tucker, Hassan Parker, and Sneaker on their state-run TV. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Yes, exactly. Two leftists and Tucker Carlson. It's just totally a coincidence. It's crazy. It's craziness. Thank you for the sticker, Jacob. Appreciate you. Well, thank you. Someone's jump-starting tonight's goal. For the love of, no one cares about Kouri Richins. That's what I was. That's the only way. That's the only way I could take it. Is no one cares about Kouri Richins. But so Dave Smith responded to this post by saying, "Where's the analysis demonstrating this? I see about 20 accounts out of the 79,000 likes." And I do think he's making bank off of stupid, weak-minded people. I think there's no question about that. But there's something else I wanted to share with you. Where was it? I was asking that question seriously. I just want to be clear here. I was asking that question seriously. Like, what do you think is a normal amount? Because I really wouldn't be surprised if more than half of his retweets and interactions are coming from non-Americans. If he's at 75% or more Americans, I would think that's probably organic. But if it's lower than 75% Americans, and here's the thing, we'll never know, because the only one who can actually do this, who can actually currently tell us anything about this, is Tucker. No one else can tell us anything about that. But, you know, everyone else is, he's the only person who has access to that information. But that could change. That could change. It would be very easy for Elon Musk to change that. And he has done stuff like this in the past. As Roman Helmet Guy points out, Elon could fix the discourse by letting users click a post and view likes by country. X already has this data. You can view it as part of the analytics for your own posts, expose it publicly. It'd be very, very funny to see where people are getting their likes from. Yeah, that would be awesome. And he has done this. If you go to anyone's account and you click on their when they joined, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do it here. You can see they're based in the United States. And if they're not from the United States, you can see, you know, you'll find out where they are. What's low flying support? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, but I do think that a large part of this woke right that we're seeing here rise up in social media is definitely being supported. There's a coordinated effort. And I saw a post someone shared. Did I save this? I thought I saved it. So many things that I thought I saved and I'm not finding it. Give me a moment here. That wasn't it. And someone was claiming that he's as low as 44%. That cannot be. That cannot be. And if you look at his posts also, here's the other thing which is very disconcerting, right? If you look at his posts, you know, I want to point something out to you. If you just look at, you know, how in vogue it is to be anti-Israel, okay? And this is what supports the fact that he's being promoted by a very significant Muslim contingency, or either pro-Muslim or anti-Israel. It's one or the other. Let's face it, it's kind of two sides of the same coin. All right, here's his post here. This guy here has 898,000 followers. he has this thing he's posted up here has been pinned since August 23rd, promoting his own comedy. This is Comic Dave Smith, right? Comic Dave Smith. He's had this up on his post here since forever, right? He's a comedian by trade since August 23rd, 2023. This has been up there for 2.5 years. It's got all of 10,000 likes. Okay. Now, he gets 8,000. He gets this. Islam is such a violent religion. 85,000 likes. 10,000 likes for this one. Why 85,000 likes? Oh, that's really the question. Because when he talks about his other stuff, he doesn't get. I mean, this one over here is obviously not. This is a pro-Muslim one. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. 947 likes. I don't know. I definitely don't think this is organic. Adding the goal with nothing substantive. Just wanted to complain that you didn't laugh at Tucker Al-Abbas bin Muhammad. I'm sorry. Tucker Al-Abbas bin Muhammad is lying. I'm sorry. I have a lot going on in my mind. This was a very depressing weekend. It was very depressing. You have no idea how long I worked on that stupid video. Everyone's like, I don't like the cartoons. It's hokey. Tell me it's hokey. Tell me it's hokey. I don't need to hear it's hokey. That's not what I need to hear. It's been a very rough weekend. Very, very rough weekend. All right. I want to cover a few other things. This feeling like it's gonna be a very short show tonight. It's feeling it's gonna be like a very, very short show tonight. I will give support to this though, to your Al-Abbas bin Muhammad thing. This is Tucker. Since you raised that, I was going to share this clip here. Here's Tucker basically saying how Bibi is worse than Adolf. History lessons from Tucker Carlson.
For a head of state to say out loud, our job here is to kill everybody, including their children, because the bloodline itself must be extinguished. You know, I'm very opposed to Hitler, okay? Just saying. I don't think Hitler ever said anything like that. I'm serious. I mean,
he didn't? He didn't? Really? Really? He never said anything like that? Are you sure? You want to double check that? Maybe double check that. You sure? It wasn't about killing bloodlines? In France, the Vichy court, I'll tell you right now. Maybe you should Google that one. Ask Grok to double check that for you next time, Tucker. I don't think Adolf ever said that. Adolf said that if someone was 1/4, they basically said if someone was 1/4 Jewish, they gots to go. I only know this because when I was in law school,
killed a ton of people, including a ton of Jews. Of course,
a ton of Jews.
But I don't think, was Hitler ever on the
supposedly, allegedly,
record saying we need to exterminate every single member of a specific bloodline? Maybe. I haven't read it. Netanyahu.
You haven't read it? Really?
Just said that last week.
He did.
And he said it many other times. This is bonkers.
Did he? I never heard Bibi say that. I did hear Adolf. This is the story I wanted to share with you. When I was in law school, the first 2 weeks when you first start law school, they give you a course for the entire. I was in night school my first year there, so they gave a course called legal process. Now, night school had 3 classes, right? So there was actually a total of I think 12 classes that were of first years, and so I was in group 10 because the night was broken up into 10, 11, and 12. So legal process, we have all of us in this big auditorium for, I don't know, a week or two, getting different lectures. This is your first time you sort of like want to be making an impression. I'm like a new student. I want to make an impression. Every time they're asking a question, raise my hand, raise my hand, raise my hand. I'm wearing the yarmulke in school, right? Raise my hand. No, 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 no. Then we're like, I don't know, a week into this, a week and a half into it. And they start talking about, I think, legal ethics or something along those lines. And they were talking about a discussion by the Vichy court in France, where they were trying to determine what level of Jew, what percentage of blood a Jew has that would still be considered a Jew. The French court there, Vichy court, was basically making a pitch to say that if someone was 1/8 Jewish, that would be considered Jew. And someone else got up and said, the Germans, if you check their laws, the Germans say 1/4 Jew. So why should we be stricter than the Germans? And the question that the professor was asking was, is it immoral to try and rely on anti-Semitic Nazi law if that is designed to actually help protect Jews? Because the French government had such an animosity towards Jews that they were going to do it even worse than the Germans. They were leaning towards saying we're going to exterminate everyone down to 1/8 of a Jew. That will, even the 1/8 of a Jew, sorry, you got to go. 12.5%. If any of your great grandparents are Jewish, you got to go. Whereas the Germans were like, if any of your grandparents were Jewish, then you got to go. So the question that the professor was asking was, is it immoral to rely on an immoral law if your objective is to have a more moral outcome of saving lives? I told you, 2 weeks. I was raising my hand, never, couldn't get anything. My hand got this high, and the guy's like, you in the back. I was like, really? He did not like my answer. He did not like my answer at all. Not at all. He didn't like my answer. I gave what he thought to be a bad answer. I gave the truth. My answer was, when you have a chaos of war, I think it's kind of unfair to pass moral judgment about how people act in the chaos of war. And we can't really draw from that. It's like, okay, next. Which basically is saying, I didn't think I was saying this when I said it, but I kind of was saying, I guess on some level, if you really break down what I was saying you're a jackass for asking the question. But I definitely wasn't thinking those words when I said it. I was just trying to say, like, oh, he's sitting here passing judgment on somebody there who's trying to save Jewish lives. And is this a moral thing to do? Like, that sounds very judgmental, and war, crazy things happen. So he's relying on Nazi law. I did think it was a little bit of a ridiculous thing to sit there and pass judgment. Everyone's so quick to try and pass judgment on others as if, like, what you would do if you were in that situation. You don't know. You don't know what you would do in that situation. You want to sit here having someone 70 years later judging you on the morality of your actions that you take in life and death situations when you have craziness going on. Your own country is occupied and you're sitting there trying to figure out how to stop a bloodthirsty mob. So you rely on something that's going to appeal to them. Because clearly the French government was no less bloodthirsty. So just thought it was a stupid question. But I wasn't even sure I was going to raise my hand. I really got my hand like this high. And he's like, you. I'm like, all right. All right. Not that I've been to movies since American Sniper. I would never watch the awards show. Did you see the requirements of nomination by the Academy? I know nothing about the Academy Awards. I'm sorry. No. I could not tell you a single movie that was nominated for a single category for the 2025. I assume it's 2025 they were doing. I know nothing about that. No. So I don't know anything about the requirements for nomination by the Academy. Why? Is it like some sort of woke thing? Like you have to basically have had 3 different genders like rubbing your genitalia for 20 minutes at certain points in your life in order to qualify or something? I assume. And that 20 and no less than 40% of your staff has to be underprivileged minorities who are in wheelchairs or something. That's what I would guess based on your question. and based on it being the Academy. Am I close? Am I close? I'm totally guessing. I have no idea. You should have a debate with Barnes. He's on the other side ranting about Israel and Trump. I'd bring Barnes on here. I think he's dead wrong. I think he's dead wrong. Someone actually, yesterday, okay. I wasn't gonna get into this, but why not? We have time. Trust me. I know what's on the program. We have time. I wasn't gonna get into this, but yesterday I put out a thing where I was talking about Tom Massie. Very simple, very short. It got much more traction than anything else I usually do. Let's talk, Joe. We'll get longer. Let's save it for another time. I remember Christmas Eve. Did something with me? History, this is the one I keep missing. History is written by the victors. This is true. 100% true. There's a lot of framing from the victors. A lot of framing from the victors. What I was mentioning is I've really been. I was feeling feisty because I wasn't like my analytics on the Diddy video. So I was feeling feisty yesterday when I put this out. I know this will get a ton of hate, but I don't care. Once you spot how Massie is grifting America first, it's hard to unsee. I think I stand by this 1,000%. I have absolutely no question at all that this man is a grifter and that he's purely trying to grift America first, the popularity of America first, in order to create his own individual popularity. And you could look at one topic after another, and this is a consistent finding. There was a lot of hate that I got on this. If there was downvoting, you see 1,800 likes here. If there was downvoting, I'm sure I would be in the negatives, probably by a couple of thousand. The comments often, the comments were very aggressive. We'll go through some of them. But someone actually said to me, the reason I thought of this is because Karen said here, you should have a debate with Barnes. He's on the other side ranting about Israel and Trump. And someone said to me, if you're on the opposite side of Barnes, you've lost the argument. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that means. What does that mean? Robert Barnes never been wrong about anything? I genuinely like and respect Robert Barnes. I think he's a very smart guy. But I know he's wrong on a lot of stuff. As anyone else is. But it's like the argument like, wow, you really need to reassess because Robert Barnes says completely the opposite. I'm like, what? Why? Why would that make me reassess anything? That's not an argument at all. That's not an argument. But I want to make clear to you on this why it is that I say Massie is a grifter. Okay, one is the most famous thing. The thing he's probably been most famous for the longest period of his career is the budget. He's continually screaming and railing against the budget. He's yelling about how we have a deficit and it's terrible. Everything he says about the budget, I agree with 110%. He is right. We need to fix the budget. We need to fix our government spending. It is incredibly wasteful and it is long-term, not just perilous. Eventually, that piper is going to bite us in the butt and it's going to hurt you, me. Our money is going to be devalued through the roof. And it's a terrifying, terrifying, terrifying thing. And I think it's a lot sooner than people recognize. I'm actually somewhat surprised it hasn't come back to bite us yet. Okay. And we could be looking at hyperinflation. I'm talking about what they had in Germany where they, the saying was a sack of potatoes for a sack of Deutschmark. Like a potato was worth more than its weight in Deutschmarks. I mean, think about that. Which is what Germany was dealing with in the early 30s. So that disaster seems like it's very, very possible to come biting us much sooner. And if it does, it will be just disastrous for whichever party is in power when that piper comes to collect that bill. It's going to be disastrous for that party. That's just the way politics operates. So I'm with him on that. The reason I bring up the budget is because he keeps talking about the budget. He has talked about the budget since the day he came to Congress. Do you know how long that's been? Do you know how long he's been in Congress? I always think of him as someone who showed up 5-6 years ago, but that's not true. That's just not true at all. I checked Grok on this. He came into Congress in 2012. He's been there for 14 years, 13 and a half years now. Has he done anything to fix the budget? No. Has he made it onto the budget committee to sit there, where you can actually plow in there? Get to work on that budget, Tom? Get to work on the budget? No. So has he ever offered one proposal to actually help trim the budget? No. What does he do? Well, he's from Kentucky in a very deeply red district where the only thing that matters is the primary. And the primaries come, I believe, in Kentucky in May, which means that once he wins his primary, it is impossible for him to not be reelected. So the only election he has is if someone is running against him who's a serious threat in the primary, who comes after him after his seat every 2 years. So while the rest of America has an election in November, his is a foregone conclusion. Whoever has that red seat is the R next to their name is definitely going to win. And the primaries which is the real race is in May. So what happens is, when do we deal with the budget? When does he ever come out and start screaming about the budget? Oh, that's at the end of a fiscal year. When is that? Well, our fiscal year ends on September 30th. You might recall that from last year, right? When the whole government shut down because our fiscal year ended and we didn't have a new budget. So what is he able to come out there and do? He can sit there screaming, railing about the budget. Why are we doing another CR? We can't do another continuing resolution because this is what Congress has been doing since, I don't know, since 1990s. We haven't put out a budget since the 1990s. All we do is continue resolution. What's a continuing resolution? If you're not familiar with that term, it means we're going to take last year's budget, roll it over, adjust it for inflation, roll it over. Last year's budget, adjust for inflation, roll it over. Adjust for inflation, roll it over. Year after year after year after year for a full generation now. We're supposed to have 12 independent spending bills for different major topics like health, agriculture, military. Don't separate budgets. Not one big omnibus thing that's just like, well, same as last. No, each year they're supposed to be reassessing. Has he got himself onto a budget committee? Start working on that? No. So what does he do? He comes in September and starts saying, I don't like this budget. We're over budget. Oh, that's nice. You're going to fix something like that in September? No, it takes months and months. You might spend an entire year. Considering we haven't done it in 25 years, imagine you haven't done your taxes in 7 years. Now you're going to sit there saying like you can go through all your records. How long do you think it's going to take you? Now try doing that with the American freaking government. You get teams of people working on this thing for 2 years before you get it done, completed. So do we hear him complaining about it now? Yeah, we hear him complaining about it in February? Not unless there's a lockdown looming. Because, some CR that we have, which is a short window CR, instead of being for a full year, a short window continuing resolution CR, that, one of those comes to a close, you'll hear him railing about the budget. When there's a spending bill that comes out, a big, beautiful bill, he'll be screaming about the budget. But you ever actually see him address or fix the budget? No. But why does he do that? He does that because this way he can come out there and vote no. And this hurts the party in power, which is now obviously the Republican Party. One thing I can guarantee you is in late September, we will hear him complaining about the budget. I can almost guarantee you that unless John Thune gets off his butt and kills that filibuster, that we are going to have a lockdown in October. And you want to know one person who's going to help vote for that lockdown? It's going to be Tom Massie. You want to know why Tom Massie? Because he already won his election in May. And he's going to sit there saying, oh, it's about the principle of it. It's about the principle. He never has any skin in the game and does nothing at all, has done nothing in the last 14 years to try and remedy this situation. But, he's such a big budget guy, He's a big budget guy, except he doesn't do anything to fix the budget. Not one proposal. So the one thing he's so famous for is something he's done nothing about other than publicly go out there and scream, I can't believe the budget's so crazy, which is the most obvious talking point in the world. And this is what he's lionized as, oh my gosh, how dare you defame the great and holy Tom Massie? He is grifting America first by playing into foundational values while doing nothing to better the lives of Americans. And now what he's doing is he'll point to the Constitution when it comes to tariffs. I've brought this up on the show a bunch of times. I don't want to go and tell about it, but he's correct that if you take a strict reading of the Constitution, tariff power based on the terms of the Constitution are laid out as being congressional power, not presidential power. But they have every right, authority, and ability to actually cede that power over to the president. And if you look at the Constitution, you understand that they're looking at it as it's a revenue-generating power, which is why it comes under Congress's purview. You actually care about bettering America. You might say to yourself, hey, you know what? Trump is doing a really, really freaking effective job with respect to negotiating with foreign nations by using these tariffs as a bludgeoning tool in order to get these other countries to, sort of work around with us. Sort of make things a little bit better for us here in America. So, but we care about the Constitution because Constitution says that's Congress powers. So what they should say is we as Congress are going to vote to give you freedom to work on tariffs. That's what you would say. That's what you would say if you actually cared about America. Instead, he goes, no, Constitution, which is misstating what the Constitution actually says. So he comes out there, I'm going to stand up against him. So that this is what I'm saying. He uses the Constitution as a prop. He uses a prop to try and basically come out and tell you what he figures you, America First, want to hear. Which is, he just uses the words the Constitution, misstates what the intent, objective, and purpose of the Constitution is, and then says, well, I'm standing with the Constitution. What, are you not American? You don't believe in the Constitution? You don't love the Constitution? Oh, you're obviously not really American. You're not really a patriot, are you? You don't really love the Constitution. No, I love the Constitution. I just don't give it the slightest damn about your stupid, ridiculous, twisted readings on the Constitution. because that's a perversion of the Constitution. Said to me, "Oh, why we want to? We don't like tariffs. Tariffs are bad. Tariffs are a tax on Americans, which is utter crap, utter and complete crap." You want to know why you should be giving him tariffs? Because when he has ability to tariff, he does things like this. He negotiates deals with India, where they slash their tariffs on us to negotiate down their tariffs, because we're being tariffed by the entire world. This is what happens if you give Trump power. This is today. Well, today is when they're supposed to be signing it. This is when the deal was first announced. Today is when India said they're going to sign it as soon as Trump lowers the tariffs. So this deal is done. You don't get stuff like that if he doesn't have tariff power. But so if you care about bettering the lives of Americans, you would say, hey, you know what? I want this president who's a really good facilitator of deals to have tariff power. But I also really care about the Constitution. The Constitution says he doesn't have that power. So the Congress has that power. But we as Congress can give him that power. So let's vote to give him that power. Very simple. Very simple. Preserve the Constitution, protect the institution, the American institution as envisioned by our founders, and still better the lives of Americans. Precisely what the founders had in mind. But instead, he used the Constitution as basically his own bully pulpit. To basically say, I'm right, Constitution's on my side, you're wrong, go to hell. Who's that helping? Is that helping you? Is that helping the American distributors? American manufacturers? No. No. All it's helping is Tom Massie. That's all it's helping. Comes out there screaming about the war. Screaming about like how, oh, the war is such a disaster, as if he has access to any of the intel that Trump and his team have access to. So, and then comes up with, then he takes he whips out his copy of the Constitution again. And here comes Tom Massie. Here he comes. He's got his Constitution here. It's like, war power, war power. This guy was screaming in the summer of 2025. He's screaming in the summer of 2025 that this was a violation of his authority. This is how much he's happy to pervert and twist the Constitution. That a 36-hour mission where we have American pilots flying to Iran, dropping a couple bombs and leaving. He says this is a violation. This is by his take, it's an impeachable offense. Because we never declared war. And he's calling that a war, or that it could lead to a war, and we have exclusive war power, which is such a perverted reading of the Constitution that there's seriously you have to be freaking Raskin. You have to be a House member, stupid Raskin, to come out there with such a ridiculous take that something that might lead to war is now the exclusive domain of Congress. Never mind the thousands of drones that were dropped by Obama, hundreds dropped by Biden. No. This might lead to war. Constitution says you're wrong. And his sycophants come out there and they're all excited to say, oh, look at him. He's invoking the Constitution. That's my guy. That's my guy. He's the most base member of the House ever. That's what they say. You come out there and you basically say, what the hell are you talking about? That's not what the Constitution means. That's not what it said. What are you talking about? It's not how it's been interpreted. So yeah, I'm tired of him using the Constitution as a soapbox in order to say, "Oh, vote for me because I'll throw the Constitution in your face, even if I'm completely perverting it, and tell you what a great guy I am because I'm standing behind the Constitution." So no, he's nobody's hero. Someone perverts the Constitution day in, day night, day in, day out. And then comes out there saying, "Oh, I'm just looking up for America first." Has his stupid sycophants come out there saying, "We're the real America first. Trump betrayed us. Trump betrayed us." Idiots. Make any sense? First time I ever saw you was when you debated Barnes about Rittenhouse on Viva's channel before he moved to the States. Did I debate him on Rittenhouse? I don't remember being on the opposite side of him on Rittenhouse. I don't remember ever being against. I think we both were pretty convinced that he was innocent. So I don't remember that. I think I might have gone on Viva's channel and talked about Rittenhouse. But I don't know if I debated Barnes on that. I don't recall debating him on that. But I do vaguely recall going on to Viva the first time that I was ever on Viva's channel. That was to talk about Rittenhouse. So good memory, you. Oh yeah, I'm on Locals too. Nuremberg on Netflix, a must watch. Is it? But is it? But is it? Let me see what you gave me in Locals. Look at this. I'm gonna give you the horn just because. J.H. Schwalbeck saying, Joey, Jewish rye. Who makes the best? Can I get it online? I'm in Central California. It's a Jewish bread desert here. Help. Jewish rye bread. I've never been a big rye bread guy. I know that doesn't sound, that sounds like a betrayal of my faith. So I'm really not the right guy to ask on this. I've always thought, you ask me, I get a deli sandwich, I'm getting it on Club. I'm getting my deli on Club. So I'm really not, but I'm thinking of one brand that's pretty good. What's it? I'll tell you which one I'm most accustomed to. Since you asked. This Pepperidge Farm. Yeah. Levy's Rye. Never heard of that. Oro Wheat. I'd probably go with Arnold's. I'd probably go with Arnold. That's what I'd probably go with. That's what I'd probably go with. Yeah. I hope that helped, but I'd probably go with Arnold's. Regarding what's organic, look up James Lindsay post on reflexivity and the woke right, psyops on both sides of the aisle. I was covering this last week. It's a very long article, and I went through a lot of it, but I didn't get through all of it. But actually, I might have even gone through all of it. I think I might have even read through all of it. So, but I did do that, I think, on Thursday. It was Wednesday or Thursday. Must have been how Dan Bongino covered it. Before I get off of the war, seeing as how I keep dancing in and out of talking about Iran. Let's talk about Trump's reaction to learning that the new Ayatollah is gay. When I heard this, that the Ayatollah is gay, I was astonished because normally that's a death sentence. Azalian says to me, before I get into this, Azalian wants to differ with me. Says, Joe, you're wrong on this, and the person who's at fault for this is 1, Trump, 2, Speaker Johnson, 3, the retards in MAGA also who think Trump can do no wrong. I think Trump does a lot wrong. I've railed at him about the bill, about his spending. I've said this many a time. But he hasn't done anything on it. He's been there for 14 years. He's done nothing. At what point do we say some accountability? They're making this your raison d'etre. Some accountability. That you actually take care of it other than just voting no in September. Tell me where I'm wrong on that, Uzelian. Tell me. Yes, Duck Fat. I'm one of them self-right-hating Jews. Uzelian says, Joey cries about all year. He even gives out debt clocks to every new member of Congress. Stop making me defend him. Okay, I missed a couple of other things. He says, Joe, he did try with one CR that would have required them to slash budgets if they passed another CR. Johnson did, but since they didn't call it a CR, they said it didn't count. Okay, now I will point this out. Mike Johnson is a big, fat, hot, stinking liar. He is, because he came into the speaker role claiming he was going to fix the budget. How did he get the speaker role? Was that Tom Massie? No, that was Matt Gaetz. That wasn't even Tom Massie. That was Gaetz. I forgot about his debt clock. That's true. He says, Joey cries about all year. He even gives out debt clocks to every new member of Congress. Stop making me defend him. What has he done? Seriously. What has he done? Other than voting no in September or whenever we're about to go into a lockdown, that he'll vote no. What has he done? Amazing Disgrace says, you might be right, and it seems more likely it would have been Nate you debated. That's true. You two have clashed so many times, might be mixing memories. That's definitely true. That's very possible. It's very possible. I move through topics too quickly. That's what I basically find. If I had to critique myself as a podcaster, I think I need to find a way to sort of settle down afterwards and let comments filter in before moving into the next topic. Because I was starting to move over to the whole Gayatollah thing, and you guys have thoughts about my Massie comments. So, and I need to flesh them out. I guess I also technically should be looking at the ghetto more frequently. I want to make sure. I didn't miss it. There's supposed to be a 2% slash across the board on all funding. I mean, something. It's a long way from fixing the budget, but it would have been something. Mike Johnson said he was going to do separate bills. That never happened. Should be screaming about it now. Speaking of screaming about things, see, I sort of. We'll come back to the Gayatollah. We'll come back there. We'll come back there because I want to talk to you about the Save America Act. You know what the Save America Act is by now. If not, you should just leave. Just leave. Just leave. So we're trying to fix our voting rights, secure the vote, and Save America Act, which has passed through the House, and Speaker John Thune, for one reason or another, has been delaying it. And we have an update and potentially positive news on the Save America Act getting through the Senate. Here we go. Update on the Save America Act. Amazing news. I don't know that I would call it amazing, but it's I'm definitely calling it positive news. Week of March 16th. That's this week. That's now. Today's March 16th. Leader John Thune has announced he is putting the Save America Act on the floor, and he is not immediately moving for cloture, which would instantly kill the bill. Now, I'll tell you this. I get very freaking confused by Senate procedure. It is really, really confusing. So cloture is when they close up to have for a vote. He's not immediately moving for cloture, which would instantly kill the bill. Why? I don't know. I guess you would have a bill. You have a vote. Should we have cloture? And then you need to get 60 to say, should we have cloture? That was the original plan until Leader John Thune ran into the buzzsaw, the American people going berserk about that idea. A lot of people were screaming, he's planning on killing the bill by bringing it up for a vote and then having it vote no on cloture. Termination of real time change to so that was what he was going to do because he's a slimy scum. That's your guy, Leader John Thune, terrible human being. This is what is now going to happen this week, at least according to Cleta Mitchell. Who's Cleta Mitchell? She's a senior legal fellow, Conservative Partnership Institute Foundation Election Integrity Network. So she's an election integrity network. So she's obviously up on the Save America Act. Leader John Thune will move on Tuesday, tentatively, to consider the House message on Save America Act, and the Senate will start the consideration of the bill. Okay. There will be a series of procedural motions which are not describable in plain English, but which will get the bill to the floor for consideration. None are cloture and none will require 60 votes. So that's if they want to amend it. Leader John Thune will fill the amendment tree, which is all the different changes that they have to vote on. There will be consideration of amendments. This will be similar to what is sometimes called vote-a-rama in the Senate. There's going to be a debate organized so Leader John Thune maintains control of the floor. All this is a sea change from a week ago, or even since last Tuesday. It's not a talking filibuster, which God knows why we don't have that, but it is ongoing debate and consideration. The Senate may leave the bill and go to other matters and then return. So how is this anything then? Fair question, right? So they could just talk about it and then say, okay, we'll come back. And that can happen more than once. That's about all I can say. Senate procedures are arcane and hard to follow. What's most important to know is this particular next phase is a win. Is it? Is it though? Is it a win? It's a big step. It's a result of the people rising up and slamming the Senate last week. We, the people, were so angry at Leader John Thune after his remarks on Tuesday throwing the towel without a fight. There was such an avalanche of calls and social media posts, mainly on X, attacking Leader John Thune and the Senate GOP that really shook up the Senate leadership, penetrated their hard heads, and they finally started listening. That's all thanks to you, the people of this country, and it's testament also to Base Mike Lee, Chip Roy, Scott for Florida, which is obviously Rick Scott, Senator Ron Johnson, Rob Borden, who works for Base Mike Lee, plus several more stalwart senators and House members committed to getting this bill passed, and it was especially a result of the amazing outpouring and public pressure on the senators. The battle, by the way, we saw Lisa Murkowski saying, my state couldn't possibly get this into effect before elections. The battle we waged on X paid off, and that's an historic achievement. Example, Mark Meadows started on Tuesday posting on X the names of the Senate GOP senators committed to vote yes on the bill and the talking filibuster, and also the Senate GOP members who have not. Mark Meadows posted on X received 21.8 million views. Read that again, 21.8 million views. And people then stepped up and hammered the Senate, burning up senators' phone lines, emails, X accounts, demanding a passage of the Save America Act. We now have to make sure the Senate stays on the bill long enough to refocus the same anger and angst against the Democrats. They are, after all, our real opponents. We'll have to work to do in this next phase, but we now know we can do it. And I agree with her. Call the Senate GOP, tell them thank you, stay on the Save America Act for as long as it takes to pass the bill, cancel every recess, stay in session, get this done. Call Senate Democrats and hammer them for proposing this vital bill. Tell Senate Democrats to pass the Save America Act, vote yes on the bill. What's this? 202. What's this number? Should we call this number? Why not, right? We'll do our part. Two oh two 224 3121. See if anyone answers.
Capital Operator, may I help you?
Yeah, hi. Who is this? Who do we call?
Congress.
Oh, good. I need to tell you, we need to pass the SAVE Act. What do we got to do to pass the SAVE Act? I need the Save America Act passed yesterday. What is our Congress doing? This is something that 85% of the country is behind. We finally have something that all Americans, pretty much as you can get to, are agreeing to. What do we need to do to get this thing moved along?
Hi, this is Ted Cruz. Thank you for calling my Washington, D.C. office. It is an honor and privilege to serve the great state of Texas as your United States Senator, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments. To leave a message for me about current issues or legislation, please press 1. For information regarding our office address and hours, please press 2.
I don't need to talk to Ted
For
Cruz.
instructions on how to submit a scheduling request, please press 3.
We're going to try
To
John
speak
Thune.
to a member of my staff, please press 0. And to repeat this message, please press star. Thank you so much, and God bless Texas.
God bless Texas. All right, we got to try. No. Try one more time. Who should I call? Who should I call for? Try John Thune. Spend like an hour just calling Congress. That's what I should do. That's what I should do tonight.
That's Capital Operator.
Yeah.
I Director Kouri.
John Thune, please.
Okay, one moment for his office.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Senator John Thune. Thank you for calling my office. If you would like to leave me a message, please press 1. If you would like to hear general information about office locations and services, please press 2. If you'd like to speak to a member of my staff...
Oh, should I talk to the staff?
Hi, this is Senator John Thune. Please leave a detailed message containing your name, address, and phone number or email address where we can reach you. I appreciate you calling. We will get back to you as soon as possible.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Senator Thune, we've been waiting to have the Save America Act passed forever. The House sent it up to you ages ago. What is it going to take to get this thing passed? We need it passed yesterday. This is something that we finally have 85% of Americans are on board with. Black people are on board with it. Everyone's on board with it. Who's not on board with it? Oh, I know, the Senate GOP. Aren't you the head of the Senate GOP? Last I checked, you're the Senate Majority Leader. We're the majority, so I think that's on you. Get this thing to the floor. Get it through. Do what needs to be done. There'll be no questions asked. Get it through. America is counting on you. If you get it done, you will be remembered in history gloriously. And if you fail, you will go down in infamy. I am urging you, do not fail. Your children do not want you to fail. I want to be 100% clear here. I'm definitely not threatening them. I'm talking about your legacy, your heritage, what people will remember you by. Years from now, people are going to remember you either for greatness or as an utter failure. And it all comes down to this one thing. This is your moment. Rise up. Rise up. Don't be forgotten in the annals of history. Don't go down somewhere where people are looking at you as you are the shame, you are the embarrassment of the GOP. Because you will go down as that. Or you can go down as being someone who saved America and brought forward and passed the Save America Act. Get it done now. Please. We urge you, begging you. Thank you. Have a nice day. All of a sudden, I was like, wait a second, the FBI is going to be like surrounding my house. We ride at dawn. We ride at dawn. Who's next? Lisa Murkowski? Susan Collins? Tell me who. Tell me who. Tell me who. I spent 2 hours just calling these different senators. You can call too, by the way. It's not just me. Not just me. I'm going to do my part here. Tommy Tuberville? I like Tommy. Is Rand Paul against it? Let's ask Grok which members of the GOP, which Senate GOP members are. Grok, which Senate members of the GOP are least in favor of the Save America Act?
Let me check who hates that bill most. The ones least hyped on it? Probably Lisa Murkowski. She's straight up worried it'll backfire into rigged election drama if it flops. Tom Tillis calls the whole push a total waste. 0% chance it'll work. Just hurts GOP seats. Ron Johnson thinks the filibuster stunt's impossible too. Collins and Romney, no direct heat on this bill yet, but they're the usual suspects for crossing lines.
Romney? Are you really bringing up Romney?
Yeah, I mean, he's not screaming about the bill, but
Oh no, he's not. Really?
Guy,
Really? How long has he been out? Has Romney been out of the Senate?
Yeah, let me check that real quick. Yeah, he bounced January 3, 2025. So like over a year now. Dude's officially retired. No more Senate seat. I guess I got ahead of myself earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. Tom Tillis? I think Murkowski. Let's try Murkowski. What happened? What happened? Let's try again.
To operator, how may I direct your call?
Yeah, can I get Lisa Murkowski's office, please?
Oh, okay, one moment.
Thank you. It's so true. Joe, your chat GPT maybe see some of my membership. LOL, this proves it was worth it. Thank you. I'm going Joe and all these people.
Hi, this is Lisa Murkowski, and thanks for calling my office in Washington, D.C. Know that your message is important as we work together to serve the great state of Alaska. So if you'd like to have a response to your message, please leave your full name, phone number, mailing address, and email, and someone from my team will get back to you. And if you're in need of assistance from a federal agency, like inquiries about a
gosh.
passport, Social Security, Medicare payments, visa applications, or the like, please visit my website at www.murkowski.senate.gov. Take care. Have a great day.
Senator Murkowski, I'm a lifelong Republican. I'm coming to you as someone who actually cares about our Constitution and our values, and having an election that I believe and Americans can believe is not just have integrity, but that there's transparency about the integrity. We all know that the elections, for the most part, are really solid, reliable, something that we can look on with pride. But without transparency about integrity, with there being these differing rules from one state to another as to what works in a federal election, there's real problems. I am pleading with you. We need to pass the Save America Act. I don't care if it results in there being more Democrats in the Senate or the House or in the White House as a result. What we need is, if we're going to stay together, united as one nation, that's going to come together, that's going to rise up and actually have confidence that our elections mean what we believe them to mean. We need to have that type of integrity plus transparency that people will have trust in our elections. We cannot have that without voter ID. We cannot have that without the Save America Act. I am pleading with you, begging you to recognize that America looks at you as someone who is an important voice for standing up and guiding us towards
You have
saying,
reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5.
Senator Murkowski, I'm a lifelong Republican. I'm coming to you as someone who actually cares about our Constitution and our values, and having an election that I believe Americans can believe is not just have integrity, but that there's transparency about the how do I send integrity. this? We all know that the elections, Send it. for the most part, are really Send it. solid. I tried pressing reliable, 1. What do I something press? That we can look on with pride. But without transparency about integrity, with there being these differing rules from one state to another as to what works in a federal election, there's real problems. I am pleading with you. We need to pass the Save America Act. I don't care if it results in there being more Democrats in the Senate or the House or in the White House as a result. What we need is, if we're going to stay together, united as one nation, that's going to come together, that's going to rise up and actually have confidence that our elections mean what we believe them to mean, we need to have that type of integrity plus transparency that people will have trust in our elections. We cannot have that without voter ID. We cannot have that without the Save America Act. I am pleading with you, begging you to recognize that America looks at you as someone who is an important voice for standing up and guiding.
To send this message, press pound or hang. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now.
All right. Susan Collins. Susan Collins. Lefty judges will try to end the Save Act. I don't know how they would. I can try. I don't know how they would. Hakeem Jeffries. Call Democrats. We already have Fetterman, right? Fetterman, I think, is on board already. Like I was saying. I like how you're thinking. Okay. Yeah, no, you see, that was funny enough. I have to do this. I have to do that. Let's try calling her again.
I help you, please?
Yeah, can I please get Lisa Murkowski?
Hi, this is Lisa Murkowski, and thanks for calling my office in Washington, D.C. Know that your message is important as we
Very
work
important.
together to serve the great state of Alaska. So if you'd like to have a response to your message, please leave your full name, phone number, mailing address, and email, and someone from my team will get back to you. And if you're in need of assistance from a federal agency, like inquiries about a passport, Social Security, Medicare payments, visa applications, or the like, please visit my website at www.murkowski.senate.gov. Take care. Have a great day.
Hi, Senator Murkowski. I'm not sure what happened there. I think we got cut off or something like that. But like I was saying, America looks to you as a unifying force. This is an area which all the polling says that white people support it, black people support it, Latino people support it. Everyone supports it. The left supports it. The right supports it. The only people who seem to struggle on this support is our Senate. I look to you as a senatorial leader to step up and say, you know what, this is something that we need in order to preserve the sanctity of our elections. We're not some third world nation there which doesn't know how to hold elections. We know how to hold elections that are going to have integrity. They're going to be transparency and integrity. This can be your defining legacy. Lisa Murkowski, Senator Lisa Murkowski, standing up there and telling the world, we in America are the benchmark for the best elections in the world. Not some sort of haphazard thing there that no one knows. Oh, is it a good election or not? We look to you. I am pleading with you. Get it done. Get it done. We, your constituents, are begging you. Please, please, please get it done as soon as possible. Talk to your friends. You have friends on the left. You have friends on the right. Talk to both of them. It doesn't really matter. Please, we are urging you. We need you to step up, rise up to the mantle,
You have
grab
reached
it.
the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it,
Let's move on.
5. To discard it, 6. Your message has been sent.
Okay.
If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now. Goodbye.
Should I call her back again? I'm not sure. All right, I should call my senators. I should call my senators. I should call my senators. Oh, thank you. Give me the horn for that. Hello? Whoops. Let's try that again. Let's see if we can.
U.S. Capitol Operator, how may I direct your call?
Yes, I'd like to talk to Senator Cory Booker, please.
Okay, one moment for that office.
Thank you.
Booker. You're welcome.
Hi, this is Cory Booker. Thank you for calling. The office is closed right now, so please call back during regular business hours or leave a message at the tone, speaking clearly and leaving your contact information.
Senator Booker, I'm New Jerseyan. I've been sitting here and I vote in every single election. And one of the things that I look to you as a man of integrity, I am so sick of all these MAGA folk who are going out there and complaining that our elections are fraudulent. And I can't believe some people still claim that Trump won in 2020. It's sickening. The only way we can fix this situation, and I am begging you, please do this, make sure that you and your colleagues support the Save America Act. Let MAGA see that they don't have no voice. Nobody wants them here. Let them know. Let there not just simply be integrity in our elections, but transparency. That we have voter ID, and with voter ID, look, let's face it, we know, let's call a spade a spade. This is not, no one's really worried about people not finding their ID, right? You can put in there a thing saying that the American government will fund for their IDs. Everyone will be fine with that. Everyone will be fine with that. We need to teach MAGA a lesson. The way we teach MAGA a lesson is we say, look, we're going to pass this thing, and you can come out here, you're going to get stomped in one election after another election after another election. We are going to win, win, win. And the only way we can win, that they know we win, because you know as well as I do, Mr. Senator Booker, you know as well as I do, it's not just about winning. It's about winning, and then they know, hey, you lost. And the only way that they can ever know that is if we pass the Save America Act. So I'm urging you, please, please, please.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. To discard it, 6.
I think he got my point.
To send this, your message has been sent.
What do I know about Andy Kim? I don't know anything about my other senator, Andy Kim. Let's see if a background in. I want to play in as if like I actually know him. Hold on a second. Andy Kim, a career. Let's see what Wikipedia says about Andy Kim. Early life and career, born 1982, South Korean immigrant parents, grew up South Jersey. Okay. In the House of Representatives, Bordenton Township. Where is that? What the hell is that? I don't know anything. I don't know what the hell Bordenton Township is. All right. Let's try Senator again. I'm probably like the first person to ever call this guy. No one's ever called Senator Andy Kim before.
You've reached the United States Capitol Switchboard. Please say the name of the senator or representative that you are trying to reach, or say, I'm not sure.
Andy Kim.
Connecting you to the office of Senator
Andy Kim. Dialing.
Hi, this is Senator Andy Kim. Thanks for calling your Senate office. If you'd like to comment on a legislative issue or policy concern, please press 1. If you need assistance with a matter involving any federal agency, like a passport or immigration issue, I really appreciate you taking the time to let me know about the views on the issues that matter to you and the people of New Jersey. In your message, you can be sure to include the spelling of your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, and your New Jersey zip code at the beginning of your message. Thanks so much for your call, and it's a real honor to be able to serve you.
Hello, Senator Kim. This is Joe Neerman. My email is joeneerman@gmail.com. I am urging you, as I've been a resident of the state of New Jersey for 20 years. 20 years now. 20 years. And the one thing that I feel is fracturing our country. I mean, just destroying our unity. I'm sure, like me, you're sick of hearing about all the fighting that's going on. And there's one thing that's really like just really ripping this country apart is this question about the transparency of integrity in our elections. I am urging you to recognize it's not just enough that we have safe, secure, fair elections. You and I know that. But you and I knowing that doesn't fix it. We need to have transparency that everyone knows it. The only way we can have that is if we actually pass the Save America Act. Show MAGA that their views are not popular. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes them. Just help them recognize that. Because right now, every time there's a win, if we don't pass this thing, think about what's going to happen. They're going to say, oh, you know why? Because they cheated, because they cheated, because they cheated. I'm so sick to my stomach of hearing that Democrats cheat. I know that can't be true. There's no way that's possibly true. I mean, let's face it, there might be some fraud that goes on there, but at a tiny little bit, that's definitely not affecting the outcome of any elections. No, but I need MAGA to know. We need America to be unified. The only way we can have that is if we pass
You
the
have
Save...
reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5.
Well, I'm not
to
done yet.
discard it, 6.
I'm not done yet. No, this guy needs more from me.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, your message has been sent. If you would like to try an
All right.
extension, you may do so now.
I think
Goodbye.
I could just jump from one to the next one. Well, that was fun. I pressed 5. When I pressed 5, they said I reached the maximum time. Joe Wilkenstein. All right. Well, I did my part. You do yours. Call your local senator. Call any senator. Doesn't matter. They don't care. Call a senator. Do it. Do it during regular business hours. Do it now. Do it whenever. Show the number on the screen. All right, let's get to Trump and the Gayatollah. Trump busted obsessing, there's a Daily Beast report, over juvenile smut about Iran leader. The president finds it hilarious that the late Ayatollah feared his son was not a suitable successor for one specific reason. Yeah, they won't tell you in the headline there. President Donald Trump apparently finds it hilarious that the new supreme leader of Iran might be gay. Might be gay. There's one gay cardboard. The president, 79, was briefed on the U.S. intelligence about Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khomeini last week, according to a report in the New York Post. It indicated that the new leader and son of the late Supreme Leader Ali Khomeini was gay, and that his father was concerned because he might be thrown off a building and stoned. So they were like, he had concerns about that. He was concerned that he was not suitable to rule the Islamic Republic because of it. The Post reported that Trump could not contain his surprise at the intelligence and kept laughing when he was briefed on the matter, according to sources. It's pretty hard to be a supreme leader when people are throwing stones at you. I'm just saying, people living in clay huts shouldn't be throwing stones. Others in the room found it hilarious and joined the president's laughter. You see, the Daily Beast is reporting this is like, you see how homophobic he is? No, what he probably found was hilarious is that this religion which stones people for being gay now has a gay as a Gayatollah. And joining the president's laughter, the report said. A person familiar with the briefing said one senior intelligence officer has not stopped laughing about it for days. It is funny. That's why. It's funny. I mean, it'd be funny if he was a Christian or a Jew. It's funny that he's gay. It's funny if he's like sitting there eating bacon and drinking wine and they make him the Ayatollah. That's funny. For the gold, time's running out fast. Call Fetterman. All right, you asked me to call Fetterman. I'll try to get to it afterwards. That is true. The Congress switchboard won't let you filibuster. That is pretty funny. I didn't think about that. That is pretty funny. The Daily Beast reached out to the White House for comment on the briefing. Publicly, the president has voiced displeasure that Iran is named Mojtaba Khomeini 56, the replacement of the late Ayatollah. He was annoyed that Iran dared to name its new leader without his buy-in as the war raged with Iran. What? Retaliating the U.S. with strikes throughout the Middle East and major disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's new leader has not been seen publicly since before being appointed supreme leader. Cardboard. Last week, and a week after his father was killed in the initial U.S. strikes on Iran on February 28th. Before being named supreme leader, Khomeini had been described as working in the shadows. Stop it! You're killing me! Oh, come on! An even greater hardliner than his father. Why would you pick these words? Mother phrasing. This guy working in the shadows as a hardliner. What the heck is this? What is this? You have to be... He's working in the shadows, listening to One Direction. What is happening? What is happening? Oh my God. On Friday, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed reports that the younger Khomeini was injured early in the war, stating during the Pentagon press conference he was wounded and likely disfigured. I don't even know what he looks like no more. Earlier report from the New York Times indicated Khomeini suffered injuries to his legs in the initial February 28 strikes. That's a double hit. That's a double tap right there. There have been a series of efforts to undermine the new Iranian leader as the country scrambles to respond to the U.S. Listen how they're so worried. The Daily Beast is so worried on behalf. He's like, what are we going to do? The U.S. keeps striking them. He's slightly less of a flatliner, though. Less of a flatliner. More of a hardliner, less of a flatliner. You saw that they put up the cardboard thing of him, right? I mean, you saw that. I should have shared this story when it came out. The cardboard supreme leader. Photos circulated online show what appeared to be a life-size cardboard cutout of the Iran's new supreme leader standing on stage at a pro-government. Memes followed instantly. Commentators joked that the regime had finally revealed its true nature, a brittle system held together by cardboard props. I don't know that they actually did that. I don't think they actually did that. All right. Well, that's why I didn't cover it. According to the New York Times, the former Supreme Leader had given senior advisors 3 names potential successors. The young Khomeini does have some powerful allies behind him. I'm starting to think the Daily Beast is trolling me here. I'm starting to think they're trolling me. I think they're trolling me. I'm just saying. I think the Daily Beast is trolling me. However, including the Revolutionary Guards, who would be very powerful behind him, and the Speaker of the Parliament, General Mohammed Bagher Galabaf. U.S. intelligence given to the president indicated the late Ayatollah had concerns about his son succeeding him, sources told CBS News. It said that the analysis found the young Khamenei was perceived as not very bright, but pretty, and was viewed as unqualified to be leader. Trump seemed to indicate part analysis on Friday when he told Fox News Radio that the new Supreme Leader is not somebody that his father even wanted. In the same interview, the president showed further confusion. We suggested Khamenei was probably alive, but said, I think he's damaged, but I think he's probably alive in some form. While Trump has suggested that Iran is essentially leaderless, the president faces mounting questions. Okay, fine. I don't care about that. So there you go. There you go. That was proof that Joe can rant about anything. I was trying to appeal based on the nature of, you saw, like there's a different approach you need to have with different senators. If I call Cory Booker or Andy Kim as some MAGA guy, they're just gonna like, all right, delete, as opposed to the way I presented it, which are obviously going to listen and take notes. Obviously. I mean, if you're crazy, you think they wouldn't be taking notes. Andy Kim's probably excited that anyone ever called him. So he's like, wait, someone's calling me. For the gold time ring up fast, call Fetterman. I promised I would call Fetterman. Let's try calling Fetterman. So let's call Fetterman. I'm doing more call. More likely he's working in the closet. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I used to be a competitive Irish dancer. Really? River dance. I was a big fan of river dance. Dance at events all over the city every year. All that clacking, clack, 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 clack. How do you not love that? Truth, I receipts with violins, like dueling violins and some clacking. Everyone's got to love that. Cool. I'm scrolling the ghetto, making sure I ain't missed nothing. I should have like a segment of that like every day where I call Congress and just yell at them. That should be like a once a week. I should have call Congress and yell at Congress. I think that's I like that segment. I'm trying to call Fetterman. I don't know why it's not going through. Let's try this again. Hello, call. That didn't work. Let's try again.
You've reached the United States Capitol Switchboard. Please say the name of the senator or representative that you are trying.
Senator Fetterman.
Which are you trying to reach? You can say senator or representative.
Senator Fetterman. John Fetterman.
To reach your senator, tell me your state or your 5-digit zip code.
Pennsylvania.
I couldn't find a match. To reach your senator, tell me your state or your 5-digit zip code.
Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry I was unable to help you today. Please hold for a Capitol switchboard operator.
U.S. Capitol, may I help you, please?
Yeah, can I get Senator John Fetterman, please?
Please hold.
Hello, and thank you for calling the office of Senator John Fetterman. Please listen carefully to the following options so that we can best serve you. If you'd like to comment on a legislative issue or policy concern, please press 1. If you need assistance with a matter involving any federal agency, like a passport, social security. Thank you for your call today. Senator Fetterman appreciates you taking the time to let us know your views on the issues that matter to you and to the people of Pennsylvania. To serve you better, please be sure to include the spelling of your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, and your Pennsylvania zip code at the beginning of your message. You may also leave your full mailing address if you'd like. For more information, or if you wish to send the senator an email, please visit our website at fetterman.senate.gov. That's Fetterman.senate.gov. Thank you so much for your call.
Senator Fetterman, my name is Joe Neerman. My email is joeneerman@gmail.com. That's N-I-E-R-M-A-N, Joe Neerman. I wanted to call and do something that few people probably do, and that is I wanted to give you a compliment and tell you that I think you're doing a remarkable job there in the Senate. That unlike the majority of other senators there who struggle to maintain critical analysis, you're able to look at a situation and say, this is what's right, this is what's healthy, and it's not about party, it's about what's best for America. So I just wanted to say to you, my friend, kudos. Well done. Very, very impressed with you. And thank you for your service as a representative in Congress. I think you're doing an exceptional job. And I wish you nothing but blessings and success and long life and health and continued success in your endeavors in the Senate. P.S. I'm also a podcaster. I would love to have you on sometime and sit down and talk with you about the different perils and tribulations. You can reach me at probably best at email, which is joeneerman@gmail.com, joeneerman@gmail.com. Thank you again, and keep up the great work. And most importantly, get the Save America Act passed. Please, begging you, get it done. That's the most important thing. Save America Act. Save America Act. I know you'll get it done. You're a great man. Get it done. Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now. Goodbye.
All right. I should tell him I represent the Jews. Hey, this is Joe Neerman from the Jews. I think it's a good idea if you come on my podcast. We're from the Jews. That's funny. That's really funny. All right. Did I cover everything I promised I was going to cover? I think so. I think so. I'm just going to give you one more story, one more quick story before we get on out of here. One more quick story. I'm going to start this with the video. I think this is the best way to do it. I'm about to show you a video of anti-ice people standing in the way of ice. Just so you can understand. I know this is out of left field. Sometimes we give you out of left field stories. Here's some anti-ice folks stopping ice from picking up an illegal.
the guy in the truck right behind you too.
Yeah, so that was successful actually, as you'll read in the story that was attached to this. Here's the story. Bill Malugan says, 4 weeks ago, a frustrated ICE agent in the sanctuary city of Boston contacted me, telling me a group of anti-ICE agitators had just blown their operation to arrest a Salvadoran fugitive who's wanted in his home country on arrest warrant for child SA and has been living near a Boston elementary school. That's who they were going after. He told me that while his team were in their vehicle surveying the target's residence in East Boston and waiting for him to come out, the ICE team was quickly surrounded by activists who blew whistles, cursed at them, and said they were traumatizing children at the nearby school down the street. Jackasses. Their cover was blown, the whole neighborhood was alerted, and the child rapist was not arrested. Great job. Great job. Oh, you're such heroes. Oh, you're such heroes. Oh, good job. Let's make sure that the person who's going to sexually assault children is able to get away free. The agent provided me several videos of the activists interfering that day as they unknowingly protected this child rapist from ICE arrest due to blind opposition to ICE. The agent asked me to sit on the videos until they're able to arrest the target. I'm told the fugitive target is now in ICE custody 4 weeks later, arrested March 10th. The agent says the target was on the streets 4 weeks longer than he should have been because the activists interfered without having any clue who they were protecting, and they're dealing with this almost every day. I'm told the target name is Walter Roberto Vides Ortiz, a Salvadoran national who crossed the Texas border illegally in 2016, the same year that El Salvador issued an arrest warrant for him for the offense of child rape. And here is this guy. Thankfully, mercifully, this monster is in custody. But it just goes to show, like, these sickos who are sitting there in their frothing anti-ICE lunacy have no idea who it is that they're protecting, and the horrible people that they're helping to roam free amongst us. Sickening. Larry Sharpe, New York State Republican governor candidate, coming to Queens, New York for campaign event March 22nd at the Neptune Diner, 9 a.m., Bayside, New York. Cool. Cool. Larry Sharpe. Someone told me they wanted me to have Larry Sharpe on. Someone told me, was that you? Was that you who asked me to get him on? To get Larry Sharpe on? He's a primary candidate, right? It's not the official nominee yet. He's a would-be Republican nominee. That's correct, KPT. They don't care about American citizens. All they care about is their frothing anti-Trump insanity. They need help. They really need help. Is he? Larry's great. All right. Well, that's what I got for you tonight. I thank you all for joining me. God willing, hopefully, I expect to be back here tomorrow evening. Until then, I urge you all to remember that you should stay away from Lemmy because it was never meant for you. It was meant for they, them. And do not eat the bugs. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Let me just do a quick, make sure it's Schwab. Oh, my God. I almost missed it. Oh, my gosh. There's 2 more in here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was close. Jay Schwabach says, Nuremberg Netflix, please try a very lawyery, true the facts. We will send cash to discuss this film. Okay, here's the trailer. Watch it, please. Nuremberg. Here is on YouTube. Let me see. I will have. He sent me $20 for this, so I'm going to give you the horn because you're awesome, JH. I might have to cut this out. If you're watching afterwards, I might have had to cut this out because I don't know if this is going to get like shut down by YouTube, but let's see what we got.
I will have my day.
Oh, they got that guy and this guy. Isn't he the guy who played Freddie Mercury? He is, right? He's definitely the guy who played Freddie Mercury in that remake of Queen.
In court.
After the last Great War, Germany went from a broken nation to near-world conquerors. 6 million Jews in total were murdered.
The world needs to know what these men did.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Hermann Goering. Who? Hitler's second in command.
They captured Goring alive. I'm a Supreme Court justice. I tend to frown on executing men without a trial.
That's what I'm here to talk about.
It can't be done.
Why not?
There's no international law to base charges on. One country can't tell another country how to conduct themselves.
All of the allies would have to participate. The U.S., Britain, France, Russia. 4 international judges.
You're talking about a tribunal.
Exactly. We're standing inside a secret military prison. It currently houses the Nazi high command.
What do you want from me?
You, Dr. Kelly, have been brought in to inspect the prisoner's mental health. Your only job is to keep them alive.
Strap yourself in. This city is about to become the greatest show on earth.
Have you friends, Doctor? Are you going to defend yourself, Herman? I will remind you, I surrendered. This is exactly where I desire to be.
Well, everyone says there's no way you get the trial.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Goring is a really interesting historical figure. If you don't know anything about Hermann Goring, he was a flying ace in World War I and very fit and supposedly like remarkably handsome. He ballooned up between world wars, but he was like a national German hero after World War I because he had won so many dogfights in the air before he ended up heading the Nazi Luftwaffe. So, yeah, he was a great aerial fighter, and supposedly like very popular. Like he was like just like this winner, and then he just became enormous. He also raided, supposedly he may have amassed. They talk about how much he was raiding Europe of its treasures during World War II. He probably put together like the greatest art collection like in the world. So he's a really interesting figure who fell in favor with Adolf and later fell a little bit out of favor. Other people there was a continual jockeying in Hitler's circle to become his favorite. They looked at him almost like a messianic type of figure, like that there was something uniquely different about Adolf, and he kept himself distant purposefully. And Adolf seemed to enjoy having them jockey for his favor. But like then it created all sorts of political friction between him and Goebbels as to who's going to be like Adolf's favorite. So he's a very interesting figure. You know, if you look at his whole life, he ended up becoming very addicted to I don't remember, opioids or to painkillers, but he ended up having all sorts of addictions, which made Hitler frown on him in part. Also, Hitler got mad when the Luftwaffe started losing some of their aerial battles. They got very frustrated with him, I think, after England. Because after they had conquered France, he was in love with Goring, and then he quickly fell out of favor, probably because of the Battle of Britain didn't really work as well as Goring was anticipating. And that letdown was something that was a disappointment to him. So there's your little historical background based on my recollection of reading about World War II figures and watching all of this stuff. So this is right in my wheelhouse, JH.
What do you say?
I say I like an underdog.
You're walking into a trap. So you really think I can't beat him? Not without help.
closer we get to the indictment, the more confident he becomes.
It happened here. People let it happen.
No man has ever beaten me. There won't be any more trials to come. You have to be flawless. I'm going to put Hermann Goering on the stand, and I'm going to make him tell the world what he did.
Goering has to fall.
As he falls, so do they all.
Welcome to Nuremberg.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Are you not are you entertained? All right. So wait, there was 3 there. I think we just came up short. I think we came up just short. We were closer than I thought we would be. We were closer than we thought we would be, but we got to like 11 all told on the if you count YouTube, as I tell you, I count the $10. We got to like 11. We were close, but I don't think Kouri Richins is going to happen tonight. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen tonight. Oh well, poor Kouri. Next time. What was I telling you? Oh yeah. JH, I will try to check it out. Okay, I'll try to check it out. Maybe tonight even. We'll see. I thank you all for joining me. Do not eat the bugs. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Have a good night, everyone. As always, my friends, Godspeed.